Hi, fellow traders. Man, it was another wild day in the market, and you just don't know what you're gonna get from day to day. You just don't know, and that's what makes this market exciting. You know, we had some good value trades in the morning, good opportunities. If some of us got it, some of us didn't, but decent opportunities. And I pretty much wrote off the afternoon because during lunch we really didn't do anything. Coming out of lunch, it didn't do anything. So I just kind of checked out. And then all of a sudden, all of these news plays just kept popping up with MU and what's the other one? I can't remember right now. It'll come to me in a minute. But all of these plays just kept popping up. And it was like just crazy. And so, had to try to get engaged. I was kind of doing some other things and didn't really take advantage of it the way I would have liked. But, win. That was the other one. WYNN. And just didn't take advantage of it like I should have, or like I could have if I was here. But all in all, it's very, very encouraging. So when you hear somebody say this statement, or you hear me say this statement, "You will not break me," or a trader says this statement, who do you think we're talking to? Obviously, the first thought comes to mind is we're talking about the market. We're saying that the market is not going to break us. But in reality, the fight is within us. We have to win the battle within us. How many of us can't stick to our rules every day? How many of us can't let the trade work like we're supposed to? Can't stick to our stops? And just can't do the right thing every day so that we're consistent. It's because the fight the first battle is within us. And that's why I always say the very first thing you have to do as a trader is get to know who you are as a trader. Because if you don't figure these things out, it's going to be very difficult for you to move forward and be a consistent trader. I don't know if you guys, how many of you actually read that book, Can't Hurt Me, that I suggested. And I can't remember what chapter it is, but he starts talking about building that callous mind and how important it is to do that. Now, we know sometimes we think callous on our feet and on our hands are a nuisance and unattractive, but believe it or not, they're a necessity. Because what it does is it allows us to walk across maybe a hard surface or whatever without wearing shoes and our feet not tear up. And we could feel the ground up under us. Same thing with our hands. We have calluses. It can protect us enough to where we don't have to wear gloves all the time. And it allows us to really feel what we're working on versus trying to feel through gloves. And so in our mind, if we callous our mind, then we won't have to keep putting things on top of our mind to try to trap it, to try to keep things from coming out. We would have developed these calluses that will allow us to feel what's happening so that we can react to it before it actually hurts us. And so a lot of these things we have to do, and it has to happen within inside of us. It doesn't matter what's going on the outside. If we're not right on the inside, we're not going to get anywhere. And once you get to a certain point, and I heard E.T. talk about this the other day, it's like, it's not the skill. Once you learn everything and you develop the skills, it's not the skills that's going to get you there. It's your It's your staying power. That's what's going to help you get to that next place. It's your stamina. It's your will to succeed through, all of the trials and tribulations that you're going to have to go through. So when I look in the mirror and I say, you will not break me, I'm not talking about the market. I'm talking about myself. Because we are our own worst enemies in trading. And if we can't get us straight, we're not going to be able to move forward. So the last thing, I need to get this out to you guys that are following the 30-day refocus challenge. The last part is about taking souls and building that callous mind. And it's going to take us right into that roadmap to success. And guys, I'm taking you through this. I know last year's classes are recorded. We're redoing them. I like to redo everything every year so that it's fresh. But this time, I'm going to be walking you through. I'll be your own personal tour guide to tell you, hey, don't turn down this path. Don't turn down this way. This is where you need to go. If you want to do this, this is where you need to go. If you want to do that, this is the road you need to take. And, step by step to help you develop that callous mind, to help you win that fight within inside of you. That's what this is all about. And, if you've been struggling and you're inconsistent and you can't seem to follow a plan and you lose confidence, all of these things are a big part of what I cover in this roadmap to success, because you have to go through it. You have to deal with these things in order to get to where you want to be. And I know it's not marketable. I know it's not going to bring a whole lot of people in, and that's good, because we only need the people who are really serious about this and is not trying to find a quick fix for this and a quick fix for that. This is about coming in, putting your head down, and getting to work. And that's what we're going to do. So if you're interested, you can email me or just go over to my website, AverageJoeTrader.com. Go to the membership page and sign up. You can't miss it. The Roadmap to Success is a 6-month membership. All access to everything, all the classes. As part of the Roadmap to Success, I cover all of the strategies that I trade. We go in depth into everything. And it's a true 6-month boot camp that you're going to be dealing with. And there are things that may take a couple of weeks for you to work through, but that's fine. We're not worried about the time. But all members go through it, whether you're a lifetime member, a yearly member, quarterly, monthly. Everybody goes through the same thing. Everybody goes through it. So if you want to join for life and not worry about time running out on you, you can do that too. You're still going to get everything. So like I said, if you have any questions, email me. If not, jump on over to AverageJoeTrader.com and under the membership page, and you can sign up. All right, so let's talk about our day real quick here. ALK, and what I did was we had one stock on earnings, which I didn't really like that much. There was a couple of stocks I really didn't like, the 2 stocks that were on earnings. RL just didn't seem like it was that's the one that made my watch list. Didn't seem like it wanted to do much. And the market was kind of funny. So I was thinking, hey, we probably just need to trade with the market. And here's what I was looking at. Last week, you can see what happened last week. We woke up Monday morning to a gap up, and it pretty much stayed in a range. We gapped up, we sold off. We gapped up, we sold off. And here, today, was really unique. I was expecting this candle yesterday. We gapped up, and then we sold off. and then we finished the day, relatively strong. I wouldn't say strong, but it was okay. And this morning we woke up to a gap up, and man, did it sell the first part of the day. We had a hard sell. Everybody was worrying about, what was the news? What's this? What's that? Who cares? Who cares about that? We need to trade what the market's giving us. If we spend all our time trying to worry about why the market is going down and why this is doing that and why this is doing that, the other thing, we won't be able to trade the market. So we just focus on what the market is doing. We can have the thought, I wonder what's happening. But we don't waste a whole lot of time trying to figure out why this is doing that, why this is doing that. We're going to focus on the trades. But I thought, looking at this is really, really interesting because we sold off and we did make a higher low, and then we made a higher high and we closed on the high. And look, I mean, we're up to 304 now. And, like I said yesterday, it's going to be a very interesting week. So the next level up here through 314 is where I'm looking. Now, I know, some of you guys may go back and say, oh, there are other levels here and other levels there. But I'm going to tell you, the only thing I care about is what happened after February, really after the middle of February. This is all I care about. And these are the levels that I'm paying attention to. These are the pivots that I am paying attention to. And, through this recovery. I mean, I'm not saying, guys, just forget about everything else. I'm telling you what I'm doing. And it's helping me see and understand what's happening in the market. So I can kind of figure out what we're going to do the next day or what's possible the next day. And so I could come in with the right mindset of being open and knowing if it does this, this is where I'm going to go. If it does that, this is where I'm going to go. But really, really interesting the day we had today. So I can't wait until tomorrow morning. I can't wait. All right, so ALK. So I go back to, I picked the stocks that, earnings is first. So RL wasn't good. I didn't like it. I forgot the other ticker that I didn't like either. It didn't make my watch list, but RL did. And so I picked one airline. I picked one casino stock, which was Wynn. The airline was ALK, and I think RCL was a cruise line. And, I mean, it just made sense to me. I had to make sense out of this. And you don't want to have like 4 airlines on your watch list. Why would you trade 4 airlines that's probably going to trade the same way? It wouldn't make sense. So I picked ALK. I thought that gave me the best opportunity. And once we broke the opening range low, I got in. Really a good entry on this. First target, right on point. I'm looking for the 100 for my second target. It bounces. And guess what Ed does? He makes an adjustment based on what's been happening lately, where I get the first target, it goes all the way back to break even, stops me out, and then I have to get back in, right? So I'm not going to let it, and I'm determined today that I'm not going to let it stop me back out at break even. Once it bounced, I took it off. Okay, the right thing for me to do. Now, I had the right idea, but I didn't execute it right. What I should have done is waited for this candle to close. And then if this candle made a higher high relative to this candle, then yeah, take it off and then wait for the reset. But this candle didn't. I kind of got spooked out and took it off. And I felt pretty good. I mean, it was a decent a decent trade. I think, I don't even know. I can't even add right now. But it was a pretty decent base hit. And so I was like, okay, then this thing sold all the way off. One candle through my second target, and on down. I'm like, okay, well, let's reset. If this thing claims the 100, I'm going to get in. If it breaks the low, if it bounces, I'll catch the rejection. I already had that in mind. So we broke the low. I got in. And of course, as soon as I got in, it rips back up. Stops me out. But I stay engaged. And as we rejected and came back down, I went ahead and got in. As soon as we broke the low, this candle closed below the 100. And as soon as we confirmed it by making a lower low, I got in and hit first target. Got spooked out again a little bit because this thing, it just seemed like it was hanging up, and it kept hanging up and kept hanging up and kept hanging up. So I went ahead and took some off a little bit before red to green. I think I caught it by, let me see. Yeah, about 24 cents. So it just kept getting caught up at this $0.25 mark. And so smart money was just to go ahead and take it off. And then the next target was going to be the 200 here. So if it got stuck at 35, I would have, 34.75, which is its daily level, I would have grabbed it. But I gave it enough time to work down through and got my second target here at the 200. And of course, this time I waited until it technically took the 9 out. So I was going to leave this on. If we rejected and came back, I would have added back to this for the next move down. But once we claimed the 9 here, I knew we were done. So I went ahead and took it off. And that was that. But this stop out here really hurt. It really, really hurt. And it would have been fine. I never would have been in this trade had I not short shifted this. And, this is another example of where making a bad trading decision can cost you some profit. Now, we weren't red on the day. On this one, 194.24, not bad. Not bad at all. And I think we really did some decent trading here. Only one hiccup, and really did some decent trading. All right, so like I said, I was out fumbling around, and when all of this news came out on MU and on WIN and everything, and so I couldn't catch WIN, but I waited for MU. I let the first candle print, and then the candle opened here, and it did sell off, and then it got bought back up, and we turned green. And so as we were starting to push back up, I got in because I felt we did get the little pullback that I looked for, and we were just getting ready to start ripping back up. So I got back in, and then it ended up, coming back and closing here. And then the next candle opened and started pushing up. And it was just kind of a choppy road. So what I decided to do, every time I'm on that little laptop, I'm always messing up trying to cover and put stops in and all of that, because I can hardly see it. It's really, really sensitive and all of that. So I just said, I'm putting in 50, and it's either going to hit it or it's not going to hit it. I'm going to give it to the end of the day to hit 50, and if it doesn't, I'll take it off at the bell. Kind of like a half all-day hold, pretty much what it was. And I thought that was the smartest decision, because I didn't want to put myself through all of this getting in, getting out, and trying to reset this and reset that until I got back, to my desk. And so when I got back, I think we had gone through these moving averages, I believe. I think we were right around in here when I got back and we logged back on. And, normally I would have taken profit at the 200 or maybe, somewhere in between, depending on how this reacted. And then 49, and then 49.50. That's kind of how I would have managed this thing. But, being in the position I felt doing it this way was the best. And, some people ask, well, how can you hold this long without taking profit? How can you do this? How can you do that? And be that cool about it? It's all what I teach you in the roadmap to success. It's all been there. It's been there all the time you were here as a member. It's been there. How to get your mind. And this is another instance of callousing your mind. Once you callous your mind, you'll be able to do things like this. I can swing trade, so me holding a stock half a day is nothing. I can swing trade. I can hold positions for 3, 4, 5 weeks. So holding a position for a couple of hours does not mean anything. I have calloused my mind to that. So, that's another prime example. So we locked up 1127.49. So not bad on this. So today, we got about $1,400 not bad. I mean, I still think we could have done better, could have done more, but I'll take it. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for today. We'll get back at it tomorrow. Like I said, I'm excited to see what tomorrow is gonna bring, where the market's gonna go. It's always a new day. These are exciting times. These are extraordinary times. Nobody's ever been through this before, and everybody's experiencing this for the first time. So it's really, really a fun time. So you guys have a great night, great evening, and I will catch you in the morning.